Hi, I'm Library Director Dawn Emsalem, and today we're going to talk about doing research for your junior political science thesis paper. As per your professor's request, for this session, we are going to be talking about how to choose and use the library's article databases, how to use the book catalog to find books and ebooks, how to find search terms for your topic, because that can really change what kind of results come back in all of these tools, how to place interlibrary loan requests for materials that the library doesn't have on site or online, how to identify whether a book or article will be relevant without reading the entire thing, and how to evaluate the sources that you find to see if they are high enough quality to use in this paper. After this session video, you are going to complete an online research activity trying out each of these tools with your research question to get some practice and to develop some questions for our in-class session so that we can make that even more useful to you. So the tools we're going to look at today in this video are JSTOR, EBSCO, and Proquest, all three article databases, which also have ebooks, and the library's book catalog, which includes the print collection in our library, as well as bringing together all of the ebooks that you can find in those three databases. A word about the differences between these databases. JSTOR is what we call a retrospective database, which means that the articles in JSTOR tend to be between 5 and 10 years old. The book chapters may be right up to present, but the articles are between 5 and 10 years old. This means that it is most useful for researching the history of your topic, or if you have a historical research topic. But it may not be as useful, the articles, not the books, with up to the minute topics. In addition, JSTOR uses your search words to search the full text of the articles or book chapters, which means you will see many more results, but those results may not be relevant, and you need to use JSTOR's advanced search features and to narrow them down and limit them and see if you can get them to hone in on your specific topic. EBSCO is another major article database that we have. It covers all scholarly disciplines right up to present, and when it searches, it's searching a limited number of fields. So usually the article title, the journal title, the abstract or summary of the article. And that means that you have a greater chance of getting no results back, and you'll have to limit your search words to only the most significant nouns. But the articles tend to be more relevant if you are using your search words correctly. EBSCO also has advanced search features such as subject headings, which, if you find one that's for your topic, can open a whole new world of articles that are exactly about your topic. Proquest is another database which does cover across the disciplines and right up to present. It also includes newspapers, if that is an important part of your research. And the articles are also being searched full text, so you may see many more results, but they may not be as relevant. And again, like JSTOR, you can use the advanced search functions to limit them down. You can add words, you can change your words to make the articles more relevant. So after doing the research activity, just keep in mind that research is an iterative process, which means that you may find that your research question changes or shifts as you learn more about your topic. You may also find that you have many more questions and that your research topic gets much narrower as you find out the scope of scholarly conversation about that topic. For our research session that we have in class, think about what questions you still have after doing the research And if you put those down in the research activity, we can address them during class because they will probably be helpful to other students as well. And also be thinking about what's missing and what other sources you feel you should have, or topic, subject matter you feel you should have. And we can also address that in the class. The other option is that you can make a research consult with me, where we can talk about your questions and topic one-on-one. And with that, let's pop into the library's homepage, which you can get to by Googling Salve Library. To get to that research consult, on the right-hand side, note that you can click on Meet with a Librarian. And if you click Reference Librarians, I'm at the top. It will show you all the times I have available. If you click on one and hit continue, you just have to enter your name and a bunch of information, confirm the appointment, and it'll automatically go right on my calendar. So no emailing back and forth, just to keep that in mind. Also keep in mind that we have the library chat for quick questions. It's staffed by librarians, and we will try to get back to you fast. So the library, when you open the homepage, defaults to the book search. So we can start there. And we may try a search such as social media, disinformation, political polarization. That is a lot of words for our book search, which, like EBSCO's article search, only searches title, author, summary, and subject heading. It's only searching a very few fields, not the full text. So we'll see how it does. So let's click in there. And the first thing to look at is how many results we got. So we got 11 results, not bad, could use more. And so if we scroll down, we see this one is an ebook available at Salve. This is a print book, good to know, ebook. So we see there's different formats. Another thing to keep in mind, there's a few ways to identify whether the book is relevant or not. We can look at the summary. We can also click in to the title. And this includes often a content note, which is the chapter headings. So if you see a chapter heading that's useful, you may be inclined to give it a try. You can request that a librarian or library staff retrieve this book and put it on the hold shelf for you. It takes a little longer, but you'll get an email when it's on the hold shelf. Then you just go to the library services desk and pick it up. You can also ask the library staff to help you find the book. This is the Library of Congress call number for the book. So keep that in mind. Our print books can be very useful. Once you get into a print book, you can look at the index if you have certain words. Like, so for example, if you were interested in Russia and its interaction with disinformation and the American politics, you could look in the back of the book in the index to see if Russia shows up. So those are some tricks for seeing if a book is relevant or not, a print book. If we go back and look at our ebook, there's a few things to point out about that. So we have many different ebook vendors. This one is a little bit unusual. This one is Cambridge University Press. We can see that this book, one way to evaluate the quality of a book is by the publisher. A university press is a good bet to find high quality. You can also see the author's affiliation and qualification. So right here, it's saying that this author is from Stanford University, that author is from New York University. It's also a great idea to check to see if the article is, if the author is writing about subject matter that they have expertise in. So this is a Stanford law professor, and they are writing about social media and democracy. And if the subject matter seems to be aligned with something that a law professor would be knowledgeable in, it's also likely that these are some clues to say that it might be a high quality book. So another book that we found here, if we click in here, this is an EBSCO ebook. And the way to navigate this one is if you click on X, you can see the subject heading, the chapter headings here. We see a description. These are ways to identify if it is a high quality book. We can also, or rather whether the subject matter is relevant, we can also look for other words which we might use to search in our search tools. So we used misinformation. Disinformation is an associated term which has a different meaning, but which we can also use. And we can also look, as we're looking at the description, you can look for other words that we might consider using to describe our topic. One interesting word that I see here is whataboutism. That's probably an aspect of the subject matter, not directly related. But these are words like socio-political. These are words you want to think about whether they might be used to describe your topic. I'm not sure if this particular work has those kinds of words. Propaganda is another term. So basically, just be looking to see. Some tools to point out. We have a cite button here. These quotation marks are often a good bet for finding your citations. We're going to choose our MLA, and you can copy and paste it here. If we choose Access Options PDF Full Text, you also have an option to search within the book for specific words that are associated. This is another efficiency tip. Click on that magnifying glass, and you can enter your terms such as Russia, and it shows you all the places it shows up. Another place to get citations for books is if you click on the Cite button here. You can select your cite, your citation style, and copy and paste it. Keep in mind that the auto-generated citations may not be entirely accurate, and that you should double check to make sure. Sometimes like the name may be capitalized and you like full caps, and you need to do the only first letter caps. So these are a few things to point out about the catalog. The other thing to point out is that sometimes there may be a book that you're really interested in, but that is not necessarily, see how it says checking availability. At a certain point, you may start seeing books that we don't have access to. So for example, if we clicked on libraries worldwide for this search, it brings back a whole lot more results. They may not be available immediately to you. Ebooks, we cannot request via interlibrary loan because we need to have a subscription with the publisher. But print books, we can request via interlibrary loan if Salve does not have access. So this one, for example, if we clicked on it, we see the access option does not say Salve or Helen, our Rhode Island and Mass partners. But if you click on request through interlibrary loan, it fills out all the information for you. Let's go back again. And then I think that is probably what I wanted to show you about the ebooks. One more thing, the one more thing was to limit to ebooks. On the left-hand side, click on ebook, and that shows you only ebooks that are available. If you're using the limiters on the side, I would keep it to Salve library books, because again, you can only access ebooks that Salve has a subscription to. Back to the library's homepage. if we click on articles, this is how we'll find our article databases. The first search box here is searching our EBSCO host databases. So if we tried our search terms that we tried in the catalog, and here, again, this is only searching our EBSCO host databases. This will bring back, let's see how this does for us. We got 193 results. So we could limit that a bit more. There's a few options. We can click on peer reviewed. Peer-reviewed articles have gone through a process to help improve their quality, and so that is a good way to improve, to ensure that you're using only high-quality articles. They tend to be academic. Another thing you might choose is to limit by time. So if you have a really up-to-the-minute topic, you can limit here. And then some things to point out to quickly get a feel for whether the article is relevant. You can click on that show more and see the full abstract or summary of the article. You can also look at the subject headings, which tell you sort of what the meat of the article is about. And if you click on them, they can do a new search for you. And another thing to keep in mind when you click on access options, it may say access now PDF or give you this find full text request item. When you click on this, it's going to search all our databases, including outside of EBSCO. And in this case, it says they were unable to find direct full text links. No problem. Click on request through interlibrary loan, and it automatically fills everything out for you. You submit the request, and our interlibrary loan librarians will request it for you. This is a very quick process, usually a business day or two. If you are requesting a print book, as we did for interlibrary loan over here, just keep in mind that it could be up to 2 weeks because it has to come through the mail. So get a good start on that early. Some other features of our EBSCO databases, if you click on those 3 dots, you can get your citation, and you can also look at inside the article. There's some quick ways to see if the article is relevant. So if we clicked on Access Now, it's going to open the PDF. And articles have a particular structure. Usually they start with an abstract. So that can give you an idea of the subject matter is what you're looking for. And then also you can look at the headings within the article to sort of give you an idea of what each section is about. And you could choose to skim the sections that are most useful. You also can scroll down and see the discussion section that sort of talks about the findings of the research and the conclusion. These are all quick ways to get a quick idea of whether the article is relevant and whether you should read the full thing. Another thing that is useful in academic articles or peer-reviewed articles are the references. So it's always a good idea to keep an eye on these references and see if you would like to get the articles they list and use them as your own sources. Back to the library's homepage. If below here we have other database options. If we click on JSTOR and we try our search there, again, in this case, it's going to be searching the full text of all of the articles. So now we have 1,031 results. These are usually peer-reviewed, but it will tell you what it is ahead of time. So this is a research report, which is a little different than a peer-reviewed article. This is probably a think tank, which is releasing the results of its research. It also shows book chapters, and it gives you a little blurb of where your search words showed up. So this is a way to see kind of quickly whether the article is useful. Another option is if you click on download, you can see the PDF full text. And you could do a search for your search words, such as disinformation, and see how often it shows up. Or, and you can do this in any web page or PDF. So it's Control or Command if you're on a Mac F. And that will help you give a quick idea of whether the article is, or this case, book chapter is useful. In the beginning, the way the articles and book chapters are structured, often there is an intro where you can see if the subject matter is relevant, and also usually at the end there's some sort of conclusion, which gives you, even if it's not like titled conclusion and a subheading, it still usually sort of sums up what the article is about or book chapter. So that is another quick tip. The other thing to point out about JSTOR is the cite function. If you click on that, you can choose your MLA citation. See here that it's not entirely up to MLA citation style, because this part of the chapter heading is all in caps, which is incorrect. So you may have to do a little bit of zhuzhing to get it to be accurate. If we go back to Proquest and try our search here, let's see what happens. We're going to probably find a lot of results again. And yes, we have 15,000. As I mentioned, Proquest also includes newspapers. So you could limit by type on the left-hand side here. We could also limit to only peer-reviewed sources. That'll get rid of our newspapers, and now we only have 2,000 results. And you can see the abstract by clicking here. And also you can look for the full text by clicking here. If the PDF is not immediately available in Proquest, it'll search all of our other databases. And if it's not available there, you can request through interlibrary loan. Then let's see, what else do we want to see from Proquest? You can cite by clicking on that little quotation mark there and choose your citation style. MLA, usually we use the last, most latest citation guide is with the highest number. And you could also limit by date if you want. So this one goes from 1980, but we're really talking probably more recent, so you can limit it there as well. And that should probably do it to get you started. Go ahead and try the activity and see how it goes.